Isis magic, cultivating a relationship with the goddess of 10,000 names. That's what I forgot. Part 1. But Isis and the gods related to her belong to all men and are known by them, even though they have not long since learnt to call them by their Egyptian names. They have understood and honored the power of each god from the beginning. The goddess is alive, she always has been, but during the last 2 millennia, at least here in the West, she has been obscured, occulted but not erased. Her life-enhancing worship did not die. It was secreted within the inner teachings of esoteric societies, trivialized as folk custom, or enveloped within a mass of religious practice that officially denied her divinity while continuing to build cathedrals in her name. For even though the Christian fathers had long warned against making Mary into a goddess, she functioned as goddess for her many adoring worshippers. And this is precisely the point. She is. Official sanction has nothing to do with her reality. Diminishing her rituals into folk customs has nothing to do with her power. Denying her existence has nothing to do with our human need of a relationship with her. Our humanity calls out for our divine mother, sister, grandmother, wife. We need the creatrix, the warrior woman, the wise queen, the lover and the beloved, and the divine feminine mystery. We need the entire range of aspects that the wholeness of goddess provides us. God, too, needs her, for without her, he is incomplete. Throughout the history of the worship of divine deity, she has been known by many names. Modern goddess worshippers have understood with Dion Fortune that all the goddesses are one goddess, exactly. And this is expressed in a common hymn. In the way goddess in neo-pagan communities that sings the name of many goddesses as a way to invoke the goddess. Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Inanna. This insight is not new, but it was not new at one time. When the worshippers of the goddess Isis came to the same realization during the centuries surrounding the beginning of the Common Era, CE, otherwise known as AD, after death, when the religion of Isis and her Greco-Egyptian consort Serapis was exported from Egypt at that time, they became known to their worshippers as universal deities, no longer tied to their native country. Isis and Serapis were worshipped by Egyptians and non-Egyptians alike in lands far from Egypt. National boundaries. This invocation originating in the increasingly universalistic religion of Isis was to become a vital concept in the emerging Christian religion as well. At the height of the Isaic religion, approximately the 2nd century CE, Isis was known throughout the Mediterranean world as the goddess of 10,000 names. In Greek, Isis Myrionymus, while other goddesses certainly underwent syncretism and were invoked by a variety of names, the phenomenal extent to which the low-born people of Izd and the great popularity of her religion, with high-born and low-born people of both sexes, put her in a unique position. For many people in the polytheistic Greco-Roman world, Isis became the goddess. Following the tradition of the Isaic religion, this book too focuses on Isis, the goddess. Like Isis' devotees before us, we will build a relationship with the great goddess by forming our search for the divine feminine through the religion of one goddess, as she was for so many during the thousands of years of her worship. For us, for now, let that one be Isis of 10,000 names. She will take us far. She will truly encounter Isis as Marianimos, not only in her Egyptian aspects, but also as she was worshipped in the Hellenistic world. And eventually throughout the Roman Empire, for these ancient antecedents, we will explore new ways that women and men can relate to her today, in an age when increasing numbers of people once again hunger for the love of Goddess. Those who do not know Isis will be introduced to her, and those who do not know her will find advanced techniques for deepening. Oh, and those who do know her will find advanced techniques for deepening in a relationship with her. The most well-known of goddess myths suggests itself as a metaphor for the purposes of this book. When Isis's husband, Osiris, was murdered and dismembered, the goddess searched for the scattered pieces of his body in order to resurrect him. She found all but the phallus, which she fashioned anew from gold and thereby conceived the divine child Horus. The first part of this book is the result of my search for the scattered pieces of Isis religion, and my desire to bring them together is one easily accessible place. I have included retellings of her myths as recorded in a variety of ancient sources. I have collected pieces of her story from the Book of Coming Forth by Day, popularly called the Book of the Dead, the coffin text and pyramid text, as well as invocations, hymns, artologies, inscriptions, and other documents that span thousands of years of her worship. Together we will explore the many aspects of Isis as she was honored by our ancestors. A primordial deity, divine mother, lady of magic, goddess of nature, patroness of women, lady of sacred sexuality, goddess of the mysteries, and mistress of hermetic wisdom. We will see how she remained present, although hidden, even during the centuries of Christian religious exclusivity in the West, and how she is once again emerging to cradle us in her loving arms. The second part of the book is like refashioning of the golden phallus and birthing of the child. It is a way of bringing new life to this ancient worship by providing modern rituals, devotions, meditations, prayers, and other practices for the worship of Isis today. The practices you find here are the results of many years of research into the ancient practices of Isis religion, combined with the inspiration of more than 20 years of personal devotion to her. If you are drawn to this ancient living goddess, I offer this to you as a way of making a genuine and enduring connection with Isis.